middle of July 2010, I get a phone call from Gary Tunnicliffe, who was my makeup artist on the last 5 Hellraiser movies that I did. They're making another Hellraiser movie. The movie was being made for entirely political reasons. Dimension Films had spotted, apparently, that if they didn't have a movie in front of the cameras, by September the 3rd, they would lose the rights to the franchise. We're in the middle of July. They have no script, no cast, no crew, no nothing. It comes accompanied by a quote from Bob Weinstein. We don't give a shit what you do, just get this movie in front of the cameras, which just gives you a warm, fuzzy feeling about the whole project, really. And my basic feeling was that Dimension Films were really nothing but bad for the franchise. Since the day they got involved, the franchise kept its head above water in spite of them, not because of them, in my opinion. I didn't see why I should be pulling favors. They were spending a pittance on the movie. They wanted me in LA for a couple of days for next to nothing. I didn't see why I should be tripping over myself to save their skins. I did ask to see the screenplay, and I read the screenplay, and that was finally the reason why I said no. Who's seen the movie? And of those who've seen the movie, who thinks I made the wrong decision? I finally watched it when the Judgment fiasco kicked up in the last couple of months. I was aware that it was sitting there on Netflix, and I hadn't been specifically avoiding it, I just hadn't got around to it. I did finally watch it. Now, I'd read the screenplay, so I expected it to be bad. Never in my wildest imaginings did I conceive possibly have been as bad as it was. I mean, just beyond. Wow. Steph, my girlfriend, said Pinhead scenes looked like he wasn't in hell so much as in the garage next door to the house. And my feeling was that it was like the Lifetime channel had made a Hellraiser movie. Only not as much fun as that might sound. And then at the end of last year, between Christmas and New Year, I got a phone call again from Gary Tunnicliffe. In all of this process, I never spoke to anyone from Dimension Films once. And it's exactly the same story all over again, with more money apparently being spent on the budget, though it seems that has gone south a long way since that phone call. Same deal, same business. I said, okay, send me the screenplay. And then in the middle of January, and they're filming at the beginning of February. So we're very close. There's no time for me to have any input on anything. Gary said, I'm ready to send you the screenplay. I need to send you an NDA. This is a non-disclosure agreement. I understand those. I've signed them before. I've signed them since. I was a bit, I don't think I'm being, I hope I'm not being egotistical if I couldn't help thinking, you know what, I've been a fairly central part of this franchise for 30 years. Now I need to sign a non-disclosure agreement to read what now? Hellraiser 10? Is the security of the world really at risk? If people have a vague idea of what might be going on in Hellraiser 10? This is in spite of the fact that Gary has already told me the entire plot on the film, on the phone. It's about a serial killer. Oh! I didn't say that. But I signed a non-disclosure to read the script for The Dead Quiet. It was 2/3 of a page long, and it didn't mention me at all, really. It asserted the producer's intellectual copyright in the project, in the script, the characters, etc. Fine. I signed it without thinking twice about it. This thing I got from Gary, again, not from Dimension Films. My first response was, this is a joke. Yeah. This is Gary winding me up. This thing was 3.5 pages long, written in stupid legalese, telling me, amongst other things, where I was not allowed to talk about the screenplay. specifically forbidding me to discuss the screenplay in restrooms. Now, I have my quirks, I have my oddities, but discussing screenplays with the guy in the next stall to me is not one of them. In restaurants, in elevators, or in quote-unquote cellular telephone conversations which may be overheard. See Gary's cellular telephone conversation to me, in which he also told me what Sean Patrick Flannery earned on his previous movie. So I thought it was a bit rich that he's now asking me to sign a non-disclosure agreement. Also making me liable for $1 million if I damaged the producer's investment in the project. I said, I'm not signing this. And Gary said, I got a message back from Gary, sorry you feel like that. That was it. Now, again, I kind of think if I was in their position, I might have been on the phone, you know, to say, what's the problem? Can we work around this? What can we do? No, nothing. According to Gary, in an interview he gave to Fangoria magazine, they started recasting me the next day. Really? So it was that fast. So the movie is done. It's called Judgment. Gary tells me it's an original screenplay. I know it isn't, because he was crowdfunding the same title a few years before that. And he got his new Pinhead, who again he said in interviews he's very happy with. So Pinhead now apparently is badass.
Right, okay.
Because he wasn't before. No.
Okay.
Lily-livered little wimp in the way that I played him, apparently. Gary also promises us that he has the screen presence of Peter Cushing. Now, Peter Cushing is my god. He is my hero above and beyond all others, as a horror actor and pretty much as an actor too. A wonderful, 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 wonderful actor who could switch from the darkness of his Baron Frankenstein and flip it round to playing the pure white intensity of his Van Helsing. Just like that. So, if it's true, and if the new Pinhead has the screen presence of Peter Cushing, then I will be the first to bow before him and doff my cap. Yeah. Presumably the movie will be out sometime this year, and we can make our minds up on that score. Yes. So that's Judgment. I didn't even get as far as reading the screenplay this time.